What's up, y'all? Welcome. Shoot, I'm a little tired. You can probably see in my face, yeah. I'm a little tired, yeah, you can see. Because I had woke up Friday, I had got up at about 9-ish. Went to run an errand, went to work from 3 p.m. to 12 a.m. Came back to the house, shot a video, ate a turkey sandwich. Didn't get no real nap. Did like 3 5-minute power naps where you just do one of those, close your eyes for about 5 minutes. Got up, went back to work from 4 a.m. to 9 a.m. I came back to the crib, uploaded some YouTube videos, ate me a jalapeno and green olive pizza. I called it. The closest thing that I remember seeing before I went to sleep was 12 p.m. So I've been up what feels like about 24 hours straight. And then I had forgot. I had an extra lamp in the crib, so I had ended up setting that up. I've been watching my YouTube videos. I'm not a sloppy person without a work ethic. I've been watching my videos. I've been seeing where I need to improve, and I'm working on it day by day. But anywho's, man, so that's what this new setup and me looking tired is all about. For y'all who don't know, I'm a preacher, or I'm supposed to be. I'll tell you my story right now. Because this video is called, I'm Not Ashamed of the Gospel. And I'm about to tell y'all a couple things about that. But for y'all people who don't like Bible talk, God talk, for those who are offended by the word, this is where you make your exit. Yeah, I ain't got nothing personal against you, but it is what it is. I believe what I believe. You believe what you believe. You have your opinions. I have my opinions. And that's exactly what this video is about. Now, it says that those who deny God will be denied by God. And those who are ashamed of the Lord will be ashamed of you. Now, my favorite books, personally, are 1st and 2nd Timothy. 1st and 2nd Timothy, these books are written by a soldier called Paul, who does spiritual warfare and is a soldier when it comes to spreading the gospel and introducing people to the kingdom of God and letting people know exactly what the Lord Jesus Christ is about. So he writes a book to somebody else, pretty much like a soldier in training named Timothy, which is also full of the Holy Ghost and did a lot of good works. And then at the end of 2 Timothy, Paul says, my time, my departure is at hand. He said, I have fought the good fight, I did what I can, and I am not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. And when I get to where I'm going, I'll receive a crown of righteousness, which I'll throw back at his feet. So will everybody else who believes and knows the truth and endures. Now, that's what I come to say. Because I know some people feel some type of way about religion in general. I don't care. I really don't care. I really don't care that much. I'm still going to believe. You cannot convince me that God ain't real. I've been through things in my life. And I have never been short of opportunities or blessings. I made stupid decisions, put myself in a situation, right? And there was always some way out of it. No matter what I went through, no matter what I've been through, I was always at least okay. There's always some stranger to help me out who actually had a good enough heart to see my situation and have empathy for me, so God can work through that person to help me out. You can't tell me God ain't real. I don't care. I'm not ashamed. If I'm ashamed of anything, I'm ashamed that I stopped preaching. I'm ashamed that I backslid. I'm ashamed of that if I'm ashamed of anything, but I'm not ashamed of God. You could go back through any historical documents that you could find in the world. And if all documents point to God not being real, God not being alive, God not being true, I'm still not going to believe it. I'm for real. You cannot convince me God is not real. And I'm sorry for those people who think that because somebody's a preacher or they're a pastor or they're a prophet or something like that, that we got all the answers. I ain't got all the answers. It's an experience, because faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. So faith is basically believing in what you don't see. But that's the exact opposite of how this world functions. Seeing is believing in the physical world. So I can't give you a whole list of things. If you give me time, I might be able to come up with a couple of situations to say, look, this situation, this happened like that happened like this. I know for a fact that it was God. I ain't got nothing beyond that. I'm telling you, I could be the dumbest man in the world, but I'm not ashamed of the gospel. I'm not ashamed. I am not ashamed. God has always been there for me. Always. Always. Look here. You can ask anybody who recognized my face. You can ask my family. You can ask my neighbors. You can ask any strangers that know me. You can ask all the saints from the churches that I've been to. You can ask them whether they say I did good or evil, whether they liked me or disliked me, whether they loved me or hated me. You can ask anybody who will recognize my face and they'll tell you that dude Ocean, him, he ain't never gave off a vibe of fakeness. Even if they didn't like me, they be like, nah, I never sensed that dude was fake. I never sensed that dude was pretending. I never sensed that dude was after something. I never sensed that. You know why? Because I live a life full of failure and humiliation. I know I can't hide myself from God. When I was drinking and smoking, when I was backsliding, and anytime that I did anything, I didn't hide it. I didn't hide myself from people because I can't hide myself from God. I'm not scared of y'all, man. I'm telling you, this stuff is crazy. There are people in the world who are scared of other people. There are people in the world that are scared of all sorts of things. I'm not one of them people because you can't really do much to me. I'm telling you. Look, sometimes what somebody say or what somebody do or how they feel about me, sometimes that hurts. Sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes. But overall, it's minuscule. I'm not worried about y'all judgments. I'm worried about God's judgments. He is the judge. He is the judge. God is the judge. Any man could kill me, but there's only one that can destroy your soul in hell, and it's not the devil. It's God himself. I'm not scared of y'all. I'm scared of God. And coincidentally, the same God that I fear is the same one who blesses me. I've never been short of opportunities and blessings in my life. You would just not be able to convince me that God is not real. I'm telling you, you could ask people. That's the reason why. And look here, if I ever had energy to be fake, if I ever had energy to be scared anytime before or anytime after this, it's just not today. It hasn't been recently. It's just not today. Try back tomorrow. See what's up with me tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow I'll be scared. For real, maybe tomorrow I'll be scared and maybe tomorrow I'll be ashamed. Try back next week, next year. Give it a decade. Give it a decade. Come holler at me. Give it some time, but not right now. I'm not ashamed. I'm not scared of y'all, and I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ. It's about to be some preaching on this channel, and it's about to get heavy out here. It's about to get heavy. I'm telling you. You just can't convince me. You cannot convince me because it's just a personal experience. Because look here. God is a spirit. Everybody who lives are spirits. God gave everybody a spirit, a soul. And then when we die, the spirit returns unto him who gave it. Okay? So that's why those who worship God must worship him in spirit and in truth. There is no hiding from God. I didn't hide my sins. I didn't hide who I was. I didn't fake or front because I can't do it to God. Y'all judgments and what people got going on and the things and the fears of this world. I've been through stress. I've been through worry. I've been through anxiety. I dealt with depression. I'm liable to do it again. But listen, I live a life before God. I am not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. And I'm not scared of y'all. I'm not scared of y'all judgments. I'm scared of God and his judgments. I'm telling you, you can't convince me. You can ask anybody. They be like, yeah, that dude Ocean, I ain't like the way he said that or the way he did that. But they ain't gonna tell you, ain't gonna find it. Ain't nobody gonna tell you that I'm fake. Because I can't hide from God. So I didn't front. Y'all little judgments and y'all, it's minuscule. It's microscopic compared to the way I live my life. For real. I had been through things on a mental level. You know what I'm saying? I thought my mind was going to collapse on me. I thought I was going to have a mental breakdown at some points. But I'm okay though. And that's what I'm saying. It's just stuff like that. Like, man, that is God right there. I prefer that I have no weakness. I prefer that I have no problems with nothing. I prefer that nothing is beyond me. But I'm just a man. But everything I just preferred about myself, that's okay. Because that's how God lives. There's nothing too strong for him. Where y'all think I get all this power from? I get it from him. God gave me my power. If I'm ashamed of anything, I'm ashamed that I turned from the right way. I'm ashamed that I started preaching and stopped preaching. I'm ashamed that I started giving, I stopped giving. If I'm ashamed of anything, I'm ashamed of my own actions. But I'm not ashamed of the gospel. I'm not. And y'all can't convince me. Ain't nobody gonna convince me. You could pull whatever documents. You could compare Christianity and the Bible to any religion. You're just not gonna convince me. You're not. It's not happening. Not in this lifetime. Look here. But like I said though, just for the sake of humility, how about I say the same thing I already said? Check back with me another time. Because right now, it ain't happening. It's not happening. For real. I know where my power comes from. And I know what my God does. Nothing's impossible for him. For real. The God of judgment. The God of war. The God of peace. The God of... He's the seeker of lost things. A father to the fatherless. Help those who can't help themselves. For real. The God of death. Put death into submission. Name a God that you know that put death into submission. He rules over death. Death is in his hands. That's the God. That's the God I live in front of. And I'm not ashamed of it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Some people are like, oh man, you into religion, oh this and that, man. That's just a way, that's a system to control them. You know what I'm saying? That's not the real. I don't care. I really don't care that much. If you really gonna drop some information or some knowledge on me about something opposing my views, I will listen. But you're not gonna change my mind. It is not happening. See, what some people call control and being brainwashed, right? Control and being brainwashed, I call it being called and chosen. To some people, I might be controlled and brainwashed, right? But to me, I'm called and I'm chosen. That's what I am. So with that being said, that's time to wrap up this video. I shot this video to let y'all know it's about to be some preaching on this channel. And for those who don't want to hear Bible talk or God talk, I'll let you know before the videos which ones is not for you so you can make your exit. Because you can go ahead and believe what you want to believe. I'm going to keep believing this. You're not going to change my mind. It's not happening. Because I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. All right? I'm not ashamed. Scares me. I really not. I've been through too much. I don't have energy for it, man. For real. And plus, God really has been just too good to me. I'm telling you, I've never been short of opportunities or blessings. For real. I've never been short of opportunities or blessings. I haven't. And I got a lot of power. And I know where my power comes from. You know what? I got a couple minutes to spare. Let me tell you about power real quick. You know what? That's a whole nother video. Yeah, that's a whole nother video. Yeah. You know what? I changed my mind again. I changed my mind again. Look here. See, the thing is, you remember the story of Samson, right? The story of Samson was that Samson didn't recognize truly who God was and what he was capable of. Because God had chosen Samson before he was born. Samson was another miracle birth in the Bible. Jesus being born wasn't just the only miracle birth. Samson was another one too. And then it was told to his mother, listen, don't bring a razor, don't cut his hair. Because that's where strength is, right? So as Samson grew and he became stronger and he went to war and he was killing and beating up on the Philistines all the time, or the Philistines, however you pronounce it, he believed that his strength was in his hair, and it probably was. But the moral of the story is that there is nothing too hard for God. There's no barrier that God can't break. He has no barriers. He can't be tempted by evil, for real. So what happened was is that he ended up laying up with Delilah, and Delilah was trying to figure out the way to get his strength from him so she can trade him for some money, basically betray him and sell him to the Philistines, right? And then so she kept asking him, and he kept telling her false stuff like, yeah, if you tie me up with a rope, then I'd just be like a regular dude. And then she kept trying stuff, and then he had, I don't know, man, she had seduced him. I'm not sure what happened, but anyways, she got to him. He had ended up telling her, like, listen, my strength is in my hair. If my hair be cut, then my strength will go away from me, and then I could be bound like any other person. And then finally, he fell asleep. She cut his hair and called the other people in. They wrapped him up, made him a slave, had him dancing in front of everybody like a clown, like a jester, like a joker. You know what I'm saying? Had him like a dunce, had him dancing, you know? So then, after all of that, he's finally captured. Oh, they put his eyes out too. They put his eyes out. Yep, they put his eyes out. So he was blind doing this in front of them. And then he said, you know what? I think I got things wrong. I think I need to ask God for my strength back. I need to ask God for my strength back. And then he prayed and he said, God, give me strength one more time. So then I could bring these pillars down and collapse this whole building on top of us. And then God gave him strength. And then he brought the pillars down and he killed more Philistines in his death than he had killed his entire life. But the moral of the story is that people can forget where their power comes from. People forget. I forgot. But I remember now. My power comes from God, and I'm not ashamed of it. Call me what you want to call me. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed of the liberty. I'm not ashamed of the burdens. I'm not ashamed of the expectations. I'm not ashamed of the freedom, and I'm not ashamed of the covenants or the promises of God. I'm not ashamed. I'll be a crazy man. I'll be whatever y'all call me. Y'all not my true judge. With that being said, outro.